Yeah. Okay, so this may be only for you, but we do it anyway, so you have it. I explain you first how to make the mix.
Okay.
The most simple way, if you can find, I don't know what you have. You have beans or you have the chocolate?
I have chocolate.
You have chocolate. Okay. That chocolate can be melted.
And I have nibs as well, actually. I have some
So,
nibs.
okay, the chocolate version is the easiest one.
Okay.
It's the version 100% chocolate, no? Cacao.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So that one can be melted. Can be melted in a pan or can be melted in hot water. So you can choose how you want to start or how you want to do it. In the last period of time, what I'm doing is to put a little bit of coconut oil in a pan, about the size of the teaspoon, something like that, but not big one, a teaspoon, quite flat because otherwise it's becoming too fatty.
Yeah.
So some coconut oil in the pan, and then putting the pieces of the chocolate, and then waiting until it starts to melt, and then start to stir until everything is starting to melt.
So that's with no water.
Huh? In the
That's with no
beginning, no. In the beginning, no water. When you feel that it's starting to be too hot and it's a danger to burn, then you can start to add water. And then it depends which consistency you want. You want more like a cream or you want more like a drink. So you can go with the water up to the size of a cup. And also that I recommend to add little by little and keep on mixing, and it's cream which is getting thinner and thinner and thinner to the consistency that you are happy about.
Okay.
Into that, it's important to have already prepared from the beginning a little bit of chili pepper. Can be cayenne, can be anything, just to be usually the red one and quite spicy.
Okay. Powder, right?
Best powder. If you don't have powder, whatever you have.
I have cayenne pepper powder.
Okay, then it will be fine. Now you need to know how much you can tolerate in a sense of being spicy enough and not too much. And that's according with your eating habit. So I will not say a specific amount. You choose how you know already that it's good, okay for you.
Okay.
So this is the most basic necessary combination. Water, cacao, chili. This is enough. From here you can make it a little more complex. Also you can do it directly, water, hot water and cacao inside and the chili and no coconut. Then from here you can decide to make it as pleasant, delicious, flavorish you want to, if you want to. Meaning adding from ginger to cinnamon to cloves to vanilla to cardamom, turmeric or curcuma, anything you want, and also amounts according with your own style. So you can make it as flavorish you want.
But no particular herbs.
Say again?
No particular herbs as far as, um,
Give me an example.
well, I don't know, powdered garlic or cinnamon.
That one for sure not. Garlic
Okay.
for sure. No.
What about
Spices.
things like ashwagandha and things like that?
In a way you can do, but I will prefer that you don't do yet.
Okay.
I want you first to see what is happening when you don't do that. So you rely completely on the cacao, and anything else is just for the sake of mostly
Taste.
of the taste. Obviously, they will do each of them a little bit something, but it's not the main intention.
Okay.
So therefore, I would say ashwagandha or anything else, no. And these need to be prepared just before you start the ceremony, a few minutes before to be still hot. So basically, when you are done with that, you go immediately after in maximum 5 minutes and start the ceremony. So you know the timing.
I have this thing here that's like
Okay. Then if you can
yeah.
keep it there, you can keep it hot for as long
This
you
stays
want.
hot
So
for hours.
yeah, okay. So then you are more flexible with that. It,
Okay.
it's no problem.
But if the ceremony is 6 hours long, are we drinking cacao throughout the ceremony or just at the beginning?
No. You drink. This is what now I explained how to prepare it. Now I will explain you how the ceremony is unfolding. The whole setting.
Okay.
So, for the people who are familiar and who are not rejecting the concept of praying as a general thing, not necessarily as a religious thing, I recommend them to make an opening of the ceremony, meaning to connect with what is for them the most sacred something, with or without name, and to find a way to establish through a meditation like prayer or prayer like meditation, as we want to name it, to establish a connection with that. So, eyes closed, connection, intention, asking, and establishing that connection. During that so-called prayer, I insist the people to ask in the beginning something very general, which is making the setup of the ceremony and is opening the space and protecting the space, meaning to ask for protection, inspiration, guidance, grace, healing, understanding, wisdom, anything which is like this, very general, and which is very much including a lot of other aspects. And this to be, let's say, with these words, you actually open and create the space, the boundary of the space. And then when you name it clear enough for you and you think it's enough, then it's time to ask, what do you want from that ceremony as an intention? And therefore it's good to have something as much specific can be. And as much as possible to be either one big one, which is including what is necessary, or if it's necessary more than one, not to be too many, so the energy is spreading in thousands of directions. Okay?
Okay.
And then when you do this kind of prayer, it will be a feeling which is coming also sometime during the prayer, and especially in the end of the prayer and immediately after. So you may notice a peak like this of energy intensifying inside of you, or feeling that is coming as a shower from above. And that will be very important to pay attention and to notice this energy shower. That is also a kind of compass showing how much you can connect, and to know that you are connected, and also to know that your prayer it have been answered. You know already that you are supported and you are connected, and that energy is coming as a first input, and therefore it's important to notice it and to find a way to keep the connection with that by choice. Okay, so later on when that is diminishing, you don't wait until it's completely dry and nothing. So when you feel that it's diminishing, and it's still something yet there, then you go with what I call the second like prayer. Again, for the people who don't have preconception, to create something which will be called an altar, I recommend everybody to create one. And that altar, it will be on a table where you put a nice cloth, whatever you feel appropriate for that. And then there you place whatever you feel has some significance for you, or something that you want to create a significance or a connection with.
Can I use our existing altar, or should I create a new one for this?
Say that?
Can I use my existing altar? I have a huge one.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. What I will recommend is to rebuild it. So first you take everything off, and then you make it again new for the moment.
Okay.
Okay, and if you need, you dust it, or also the things, if they need to be dusted, and then it's something which you do fresh for the moment, for the ceremony.
Okay.
And I recommend you to add to that also fruits and flowers, and maybe nuts. So in terms of food, something that if you want, and if you get hungry during the ceremony, you are happy to eat that. And flowers for the beauty and for gratitude and respect for the divine consciousness which will manifest later on. because the altar is meant to be as a mirror, as a connector. So therefore, when you make the second prayer, when the altar obviously it's already prepared before you start the ceremony, you offer the altar to the same high consciousness that you connect in the first prayer, to show that you are willing and you are open for that kind of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And you already kind of you are grateful even in advance, let's say like that. And also by placing different kind of objects on the altar, they are keep on charging, becoming power tools, which means that you have already a kickstart all the time as soon the altar is ready made. And I want you also to pay attention when you recreate the altar, and you may sense that the energy is shifting in the room where you are creating the altar and also inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are creating the altar for the ceremony. You don't just place some things on a table. Okay? So again, when you do it, that attitude. I'm creating the altar for the ceremony, for helping me to establish as deep, as high, as profound connection I can during the ceremony, as helpers,
Mm-hmm.
and as honoring and gratitude and everything, as a bridge. And then when you offer that, again, you confirm, like confirm password, you ask again, what do you want from the ceremony? To be sure that that is what you want, to be sure that it was really, really received, understood, and approved. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's clear.
Yeah.
And then you will have a second confirmation that yes, we hear you. You will get it. And then again, when the energy is slowing down, then it's up to you from there to find a way how to maintain the connection. And that basically is done through attention. Okay? All this is happening, if you want to do it the way I'm doing and to use the music support, it's happening with music background. So that means that you prepare the cacao, you have it, you have the altar prepared, and then when the time is ready, then you press the button of the first selection. It's called introduction, intro. You press the button for that, and while the first track starts to play, you go into your prayer. If for you it can be disturbing, also you can choose to do it first the prayer in silence and then to start the music. From my point of view, the music can help, but then it depends on each person's individual preferences. Actually, the music is chosen very carefully to help this kind of process. So then you press the button, you have the first track, you go with the first prayer, and sometimes it takes the first prayer during the whole track. Sometimes you may finish earlier and then you start to do the second prayer, and then the first track is finishing and then you start in the second and you are still in the middle. Doesn't matter.
What's the first prayer and second prayer? So the first prayer is connection to the divine or the source or whatever.
Yes. And
What's
the
the
second
second?
one is offering the altar.
Offering the altar. Okay.
And you can also look to the video because there it's explained, and then you can remember. So the second prayer is offering the altar and reconfirming, rephrasing your intention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first, it's connection and opening the space and phrasing the intention. Second, enhancing the connection by offering the altar and re-enhancing and reformulating the intention, the request. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so as soon you have these two, it's time to, how to say, if you want to do something more, it's a little short time when you can go and burn some Palo Santo or something to reinforce the protection of the space.
Yeah. I always do that whenever I reset the altar anyway.
Yeah, but it's good to do it also in the ceremony as part of the
Oh,
ceremony.
okay.
It can be also done some before, but it's also good to do exactly in this moment, after the prayers. And then during that, also that is also helping you to maintain consciously the connection. Because again, the vibration in the room, it will increase. Because now you are already a little bit connected, and also you are doing that with much more awareness and focus. And then as soon as you are done with that, it's time to drink the medicine. And again, before that, it's very good to make another little prayer where you ask the divine consciousness to bless your medicine and to charge it with whatever you want to be charged. And again, if you want, you can also reinforce the third time the intention. Okay?
Okay.
And then from there, you can say that finally everything is open, everything is ready, and you are fully immersed into the ceremony. From there, you can start to drink the medicine. It's important not to drink too fast, but in the same time, there's no need something more than, I don't know, 5 to 15 minutes. Depends how you feel to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also insist that it's better to drink everything. And if it's something which is like a deposit on the cup, even to add a little more hot water and to really clean it and to not throw anything away.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon you drink the medicine, things start to happen. Already it may happen before, but things will start to happen because every track it's choose again to trigger something.
Okay.
And then by sitting in a kind of meditation-like position, but not necessarily in a full meditation attitude, meaning that you don't want to withdraw now. Now you want to connect. So it's basically more like developing an awareness to sense everything that is happening in your body, in your mind, in your emotional level, everywhere. And every single thing that you notice as a movement, sensation, anything, you follow with your attention. And that will be your guide, your perceptions. So in this case, you don't want to disconnect from them and to stay sober into nothingness. You want to follow them. Because this is how this medicine is working. If you follow that, if you connect with the music and you keep on going, things keep on opening. If you disconnect from that, if you stop moving, things will get stuck. And for some people, it can be difficult to be in this kind of mood for a very long period of time. And therefore, particularly to this ceremony, I come with an extra option. There is the introduction. After the introduction, it's what is called, again, something very particular to this one is called magic shift, which is coming after the introduction. And after that, there are two more selections. What is called the main selection, and the other one is called dancing. And because I say that some people it's difficult to go only on contemplation and attention, if somebody feels that they are getting stuck, and if they feel that by connecting with the body and movement, then they can switch anytime they want, anytime they feel, to the dancing selection, which can help to move if you feel that you get stuck, and to help to reconnect also through the body movement. If you get tired, anytime you can come back to the contemplation selection. And that will be a freestyle. You choose when you want to be in one, when you want to be in the other one.
And by selection, you mean music selection?
Yes, yes.
Okay. But are we going to be in a Zoom the whole thing, the whole time?
I would recommend you to choose a place and then to keep that place. For example, if you want to do it in the apartment, it's good to be in the apartment and maximum to go on the balcony.
Yeah.
But to be kind of limited space because you have to stretch the sacred place. So if you want to, let's say, stay in the room for a while and then you want to go out in the street, then you need to be able to take the sacred place with you, because otherwise you expose yourself. And this maybe in the beginning it will be not that easy. So I will recommend not to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely going to be in my apartment, but I was wondering, like, are we going to have a Zoom like dial-in like group chat, or how do we stay connected?
No, it will not be. It will be a chat in the end. But during the ceremony, everybody need to figure out what and how towards the instruction that we agree now.
Okay.
And the intuition in the moment.
Okay. Okay. So we set the intention, we do the opening, and then we kind of just flow.
Exactly. And then everybody is finding out how easy it's for them to flow, if it's for them more easy to be alone, if it's for them more easy to be in a group, and how they can handle by themselves, and things. And then out of that, it's coming question. And by going repeatedly through this process, it's a lot of learning.
But there's no way of connecting with anyone else in the ceremony while we're doing it.
For this time, no.
Okay.
The previous ceremony we did, and in the future we'll do more, but only when the people understand what and how minimum.
Okay. But there will be for the opening. So we do the opening all together and dialed in, or we just do the opening according to your instructions?
No, everybody know what to do already. Everybody know what to do, and therefore I am doing this video with you now for you also to know, and everybody is doing on his own. So
Okay.
it's no, even in the beginning, is no connection. And basically also I will be in Berlin hosting a physical ceremony, and to do that this time it will be also a bit complicated. If you really need, I may look to see if I can do the connection so you can see me opening the ceremony in Berlin. That can be an option if you really want.
Well, only if it's beneficial. It just feels a little weird to not be connected at all.
The thing is that I know it's working anyway. The only thing which can interfere is maybe a little lack of confidence from your side.
Okay. Because that's what I wanted to hear, because to me it seems a little strange that we're not connected in any way. But if you're saying that that's okay.
It's not a connection in a sense you understand, but there is a connection, and therefore also I want to do this in this way for the people to realize that actually there is a connection.
Okay, but the connection is basically you, right? As our intentions being connected to you?
No.
Because I don't know anybody else there.
No, but the connection is not with me, it's with the highest consciousness. We are connecting all of us with the same source. So it's not too much about, it is also that, but it's not too much about us. It's about us with that something and then all of us into that something. So it's coming back into oneness from being separate. But in the beginning, it's not that important that we communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need is to come first in a higher level of connection where the communication is more easy beyond the language.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm doing it this way to pass the barrier of the discursive language, the mind language. We have to go beyond the mind. And I know it can be a little bit scary or triggering or not easy, but I can say it's possible.
Okay. So we just all start the opening at the same time, and that's it.
Yeah. But you'll see, it's working. I mean, if it's not working for you, you will be the only one for whom it's not working. For all the others, it's working. So it will. Maybe not easy, but it will. And even if it's not, you will learn something from that.
Yeah.
Like others make mistakes in the first ceremony, and then they learn from that, not to do that again. And now everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also fine to make mistakes, and it's
And
part of the learning.
do we all do a closing together?
Yes, that yes.
So there has to be a time for that where we all
So
come.
the thing is that after 5 hours from the beginning of the ceremony, for the one who want, it will be an online meeting as a talking circle. And into that there will be questions, there will be people expressing something about how it was their experience. And then when that is finished, it will be the closing of the ceremony. So a closing it will be, because that's very important for the safetyness.
Okay.
And especially the people who are in the beginning, I need to be sure that everything is safe in the end, because that it is part of my responsibility.
Okay. I just gotta stay awake.
Huh?
I just gotta stay awake.
I mean, if you get into the field, it will not be even a question if you stay awake or not. And when the time it will be finished, you will question yourself when everything went. It can be very, very powerful, very beautiful, very enhancing.
Okay.
Ask Anne Christine. She already have been to several.
Okay. Good. I think I get it. I'll ask you questions over chat if I'm gonna try and write down everything that we just talked about, just so I understand it.
Okay, wonderful. Good.
Okay. Good.
If you need something more, write something that I can reply tomorrow morning, because beside that I will start to be more and more busy with organizing the event.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thanks, Horacio.
All the
Bye.
best, and thank you for wanting.
Of course.
Bye bye.